Hey grade 7, welcome to another edition of Mr. V Teaches Math. Today we're going to quickly look at something called reciprocals. I think that you've talked about them last year, so this hopefully will go quickly. But our goal is to be, reintroduced or just introduced to the concept of reciprocals, which are pairs of numbers whose product is 1. So I have a problem here. My daughter Gretchen has a seashell collection that she's growing tired of. She has 44 shells, and she wants to split them evenly between her two sisters, Willa and Annika. So Mrs. Versteeg and I, we know two ways of working out how many shells Willa and Annika should get. And so our solution, what we came up with, the two different ways, is that you can actually divide 44 shells by 2 to get 22 shells in each group. But you can also multiply 44 times a half to get 22 shells. But wait a minute, you divide it by 2 and multiply it by a half, it gives you the same answer. So what's the what? Now if we think about it for a little bit, in the solution 44 divided by 2 equals 22, what we're doing there is we're splitting 44 into 2 even groups. In the solution of 44 times a half, we're telling basically how big half of 44 is. In other words, what we're doing is we're saying half of 44, which is the same thing as saying half times 44, right? Remember when we see that word of, it means multiplication. So we're telling what half of 44 is. So you're doing the same, you're doing different operations. One hand you're dividing, on the other hand you're multiplying. You're getting the same answer. Now my next question, I suppose, is what happens when you multiply 2 times a half? What happens there is you have 2 times a half, which equals, you have to put 2 over 1. So it's 2 over 1 times a half, which equals 2 over 2, because 2 times 1 is 2, and 1 times 2 is 2. And then you simplify 2 over 2 down, it's 1. And so the product then of 2 and a half is 1. Likewise, the product, when you multiply, say like 3 times a third is 1, 4 times a quarter is 1, 5 times a fifth is 1. In general, we say that the two numbers whose product is 1, they're called reciprocals. We need to know reciprocals in order to be able to divide fractions. You need to understand that if you divide by a fraction, it's the same thing as multiplying by its whole number, or by its reciprocal. You get the same answer. And it's important to know that for fractions, as you'll see in the next video. So have a great